Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Evolve and Revolve Q&A series. It's 2021, and while I'm not planning on veering too far off of the path that I've carved here over the last 3 years, we are going to do this episode of Q&A just a little bit different than we usually do. Instead of using this Q&A session to answer your questions about you, we're going to use this Q&A session to answer your questions about me. You guys have sent me a lot of questions, and I'm going to answer most of them here. But I've stayed away from the really deep ones that I feel would require an entire video all their own, as well as, oddly enough, some of the more vulgar questions that a few of you have sent in. So, with that said, let's get started with 2021's first Q&A session, Scratching the Surface. First question. How many tattoos do you have? Well, that's an interesting question to start off with. I have 17 tattoos, and no, I am not going to show them all to you. Which tattoo is your favorite? Oh, that's an easy one. That would be my Jack Skellington. Do you have more ink planned? Yes, actually I've got about another dozen tattoos planned, but most immediately I'm planning on getting a half sleeve on my right arm of Haunted Mansion artwork done by Brian Kessinger, as well as a piece that's going to take up my whole right pectoral muscle of the Hindu god Ganesh, which for those of you who don't know, he's the one with the elephant head and 6 arms. He is the remover of obstacles, which is why he's going in the front, so he can remove the obstacles that are ahead of me. What size are your gauges? The big gauges are a full inch, and the small ones are a 00. Why did you change your hair? Well, I gotta keep the FBI on their toes, right? Okay, seriously, I kind of just felt like it was time for a change. I had the white hair for about 3 years, and it kind of just didn't feel like it accurately represented who I am anymore. And oddly enough, one of the first videos that I posted after I cut my hair was the video, It's Time for a Change. I saw you driving today. Okay, that's not exactly a question. Moving on. What color are your eyes under those contacts? Well, let me just show you. Bear with me. Who's your favorite singer? Okay, the answer to that question changes pretty frequently depending on what's going on in my life and what kind of mood I'm in throughout the day. But for about the last year or more, it's usually Melanie Martinez, with a tie or runner-up being Seb DeLisa. And if you don't know who either of those are, you need to check them out. You can find any of their stuff on YouTube or Instagram, which is where I find them. Do you still make music? I sing in the car, and sometimes I play a guitar here and there. But as far as writing and recording music, no, I haven't designated time and effort towards that in quite a while. I've kind of been just trying to keep my focus on getting this motivational speaking thing off the ground. Do you miss performing with your band? Yes, I do. I really do. I really do. Al Jurgensen in Ministry said that, I and I may be saying it wrong, but I believe the quote was, playing rock and roll music is more addictive than heroin or pussy. I know that's kind of crude, but I completely 100% agree. Nothing in life compares to performing music that flows through every particle of your body and your soul, especially when you're playing it in front of a huge crowd of people who are thriving off that energy that you're releasing. Those moments, they transcend time and space. If you do it right, when you're finished, you're shaking and exhausted, and you're not exactly sure what just happened. You know, there's a line in my favorite Bob Seger song. It's called Turn the Page. And he says, the sweat pours out your body like the music that you play. Can't think of a better way to describe it. Sorry, kind of took a little detour there. Next question. Why do hot dogs come in packs of 10, but buns come in packs of 8? Huh? Answered that smart guy. Ha, you thought you were going to stump me with that one, but guess what? I know the answer to that one. Ha, it's a marketing conspiracy. They do it because if you have 10 hot dogs and only 8 buns, in order to eat all 10 hot dogs, you have to buy another pack of buns. And then once those hot dogs are gone, you're going to still have 6 buns left. And so you have to then buy another pack of hot dogs in order for the buns to not go to waste, which means you're going to then have to buy another pack of hot dog buns. See, they do it to get you to buy more. Yeah, that's the answer to that stupid question. Smart guy. Yeah. Next question. Who's your favorite motivational speaker? Hey, all right, now we're getting a little more on topic. It's a really tough question. I have a handful of favorites, and it really kind of depends on my mood. Like, if I'm feeling a little bit down, my go-to guy is Bishop T.D. Jakes. But if I'm working out, I like Eric Thomas and Billy Alsbrooks. They're always massive. If I really need to focus on the task in front of me, it's usually Les Brown or Jim Rohn. And a lot of people don't know this, but there are some really awesome Henry Rollins speeches out there that fuel me on a pretty regular basis. Yeah. But all in all, I think the speakers I listen to most are ex-Navy SEAL Jocko Willink and Bishop T.D. Jakes. Jocko Willink is constantly massive and hard-hitting, but still like intensely humble. And with Bishop T.D. Jakes, like I kind of feel like he's talking to me specifically a lot of the time. I am not religious, but a lot of his messages resonate with me particularly. I have this saying about T.D. Jakes that he's not always right, but he's always right on. You know, sometimes he might use the wrong word, or maybe he makes up a word, but whether you agree with how he worded it or not, the message is always exactly what it needs to be. Nothing more and nothing less. And so that's part of why he's always going to be one of my favorites. Great question. Do you ever do live speaking events? Actually, I was just starting to look into doing live events at high schools right before COVID-19 hit and put a damper on social gatherings. But the way things are looking, I'm kind of hoping that by 2022, I'll have some live events happening, starting with speaking at local high schools and then maybe working my way across the state. And if that goes well, maybe even doing dates all across the country. But on top of that, I'm also planning to guest spot on a couple of podcasts hosted by other people, as well as hopefully getting on a talk show or two. And I'm currently working on getting some of my stuff highlighted in videos made by motivational channels as opposed to videos made by motivational speakers. Uh, Channels like, example, Motiversity or Mulligan Brothers. I have a plan and I'm sticking to it. And hopefully within the next year, we'll see some of these plans being put into motion and snowballing as it goes along. Do you do life coaching? That's tricky. I do, but I don't. I'm always happy to offer advice or share experiences that I've gained along the way, because as a lot of you have heard me say, I believe knowledge is useless if you don't share it. I'm more than happy to help you set up some goals, and even happier to cheer you on and encourage you to achieve those goals. And while I love the way that it feels to see somebody accomplish something that I helped them set out to do, I am definitely not licensed or certified or anything like that. I'm just a dude that may or may not have some answers. So for now, these Q&A videos are as close as I will be getting to life coaching. Would you be interested in a collab with another motivational speaker? Collaboration, huh? Well, I would. It sounds interesting, but it really depends on who the other speaker is and what the concept is. If the concept and the chemistry are on point, then hell yes, I'm certainly down. But it has to be right. It has to flow. It can't. Let's put it this way: if you're interested, hit me up. Send me some of your previous work. Let me see what you do, what you're up to, and we'll see if maybe we can make something happen. What's your favorite food? That's an easy one. Chili, cheese, fries. When will you have merch ready? Merchandise. A lot of people have been asking me about that, and I actually just recently started coming up with a serious game plan for that as well, to put in motion some things. I'm working on 2 or 3 different kinds of shirts, a couple different designs, as well as hoodies and either hats or beanies. Not sure yet. But in the meantime, I do have stickers and enamel pins. If you haven't got yours yet, feel free to email me through my website or DM me on Instagram, and I will mail these things to you free of charge. Giggity. Giggity. What's your favorite Evolve and Revolve video? I think that the editing in my videos has gotten a lot better, especially in the last couple of videos, and the concept have been a little more focused. So generally, just like tattoos, when you get a new tattoo, your newest one is your favorite. I tend to like whatever the latest video is more than the previous videos. But there's definitely no question in my mind that Get Your Brainwashed is my favorite Evolve and Revolve video. And apparently it's everybody else's too. Within the first week, that got 100 views, which might not sound like very much, but when you look back at my channel, I have some videos that have been up for 2 years that still don't have 100 views. So for me, that's a lot, and I appreciate every single one of them. Thank you for all your support on that one, you guys. What's your favorite non-Evolve and Revolve video? Honestly, that's a really hard one, because like 75% of the time that I spend listening to stuff throughout the day is spent listening to motivational speaking. I watch and listen to a lot of different videos, but I have some of them that are like go-tos for me. if I had to pick a favorite, I would say Unfair Life by TD Jakes, which has gotten me through some really tough times. It definitely helped me out when I hit bottom, helped turn my life around. And I got one of the most powerful sayings that I have ever heard in my life from that video. It's something I say a lot. You will win if you do not quit. Now, that's Unfair Life by TD Jakes, and you may or may not be able to find it because it gets deleted from YouTube a lot. But usually within a month or two of it getting deleted, somebody else will repost it, and you'll be able to find it again. It's definitely worth searching out. If you can find it, give it a watch or at least give it a listen, because it might change your life. It definitely and truly saved mine. Do you plan on doing more videos like Get Your Brain Washed? Yes and no. Yes, because I plan to continue doing videos involving like costumes and theatrics every year for Halloween. Just like I always do. Get Your Brain Washed was the 2020 Halloween release, but I don't plan to do any more videos as the Shadow Man. It was kind of just a one-off, and while it was definitely my most watched video and definitely my favorite, um, I don't want to have to be the Shadow Man in order for people to want to watch my videos, if that makes any sense. I don't want people to miss the messages in my videos because they came for the theatrics or the costumes and not the message. I kind of feel like that would waste everybody's time, mine and yours. And so even though, like I said, that's my favorite Evolve and Revolve video, I had a lot of fun making it, and I even still genuinely have fun watching it. I will be doing I won't be doing any more that are just like it, but I will continue doing uh, very creative and kind of artsy Halloween videos every year. So you can look forward to that. Why aren't your bloopers on YouTube? Okay. Uh, Obviously, somebody who follows me on Instagram. The bloopers have never been posted on YouTube because they were never meant to be like a main focal point. They're kind of just one-off things that happen when I work with my sister, because my sister is a big goofball and she's a lot of fun. And so when we're in between shots or in between takes, or sometimes even during takes, she just says and does like random ridiculous shit that always ends up being hilarious. And so I kind of just post them uh, on Instagram as like just added content, like basically just to, get other people laughing. If you know either of us, you know that we're both like, we get carried away when we're working together. And so, like, I think they're funny, but like I said, the main reason that they're only on Instagram and not on YouTube is because, just like the whole thing with Get Your Brain Washed, I don't want people to just come for that. Like, and I don't want them to miss the message because of that. But besides that, I tend to have a little bit more content on my Instagram channel than I do on my YouTube channel, because I can make smaller stuff on Instagram. I can have bloopers without it having to be a big production, or I can have just like little pictures with inspirational or motivational sayings on it rather than having to make a huge production out of it. And so my Instagram tends to have a little bit more content on it. And so, the bloopers are kind of just a one off, just as something fun for, like an added bonus for whoever follows me on Instagram. Does anyone famous follow you on Instagram? Yes. Uh, a handful of well-known kind of underground artists follow me. For example, Burnzig, the horror mashup cartoonist. If you haven't seen his stuff, he's really great. He crosses over like well-known cartoons with horror stuff. For example, right now he's doing a big thing with Creepshow and Bob's Burgers, and they're always entertaining. The dude is super talented. There's a guy named Has Sub, which is short for hazardous substances. He's probably like the world's best source of nu metal music as far as the internet goes. He's located in Brazil. I'm also followed by Mandy Strange Effects. She is a world-renowned uh, special effects and movie makeup artist who has been winning a lot of contests and awards lately. She's definitely an evil genius. Um, and most recently joining the ranks is Princess Akame. She is a multi-talented artist and musician whose star is definitely on the rise. She's going to be like maybe the next Seb Deliza or the next Ash Nico. If you haven't checked out her hit Pearl Necklace, uh, go search it up on YouTube. The link is in the bio. Uh, if you're into any of the music that I've mentioned so far, you know, Melanie Martinez or Seb Deliza or Ash Nico, you will definitely like Princess Akame. She's pretty awesome. Hey, baby, what's your sign? Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. In all the ways that you would expect, and maybe in some ways that you wouldn't. How did you know that this was your calling in life? Ooh, deep question. We're getting into the deep stuff now. I guess I've known since I was little. I've always been comfortable speaking in front of others, and I've always been willing to share my experiences with both friends and strangers alike. So I guess that kind of lends to public speaking. Certain circumstances throughout my childhood years and teenage years have kind of groomed me and prepped me for this role in life. And at some point, when I hit bottom and I was homeless and I was in the worst part of my life, all the pieces just kind of fell into place. And I started making all these videos, and it felt right. And then, you know, like I said, all the pieces just fell into place, and it kind of snowballed from there, and it just cemented my belief that I'm where I'm supposed to be and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Marvel or DC? Ooh, definitely getting into the deep questions now. Marvel, hands down. DC's cool, but Marvel runs in my blood, and it always will. It will always, always, always be Marvel, without a doubt. Who's your favorite Joker? Okay, I genuinely like them all. Yes, even Jared Leto's Joker. I know a lot of you hate him, and that's fine. I still thought he was interesting. I mean, I love Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. He did it really good justice. Jack Nicholson was pretty amazing, and even Cesar Romero in the old Batman TV show was good. But they all pale in comparison to Heath Ledger's Joker. None of them can even come close to pretending to thinking about comparing with his Joker. His Joker was so perfect. It was exactly what it needed to be. And it will always have a special place in my heart and on my hand. When are you gonna get back to making cooking videos? Okay, I do miss making cooking videos. I've actually been considering starting a second Instagram channel just for cooking videos. But at the same time, while I've kind of been considering it, it's probably not going to happen just because it is kind of time consuming and I don't really do enough interesting cooking where I could stay consistent and have something that people would regularly watch. It would just be something for shits and giggles here and there, but who knows? It's only January. I mean, maybe somewhere along the line, I'll surprise you with something. Cooking shows. Have you ever felt like you didn't have a choice? Like this is what you were born to do, even if you wanted to do something else or tried to go down a different path, you would still end up being a motivational speaker. Wow. That was really deep and well worded. It's a hard question to answer. I know in my heart of hearts that I will always be a motivational speaker, but I also know that it may not always be through social media platforms like YouTube or Instagram. It may not always be in front of an audience or on a stage. I'm fully aware that there may come a time when my purpose as a motivator is only for the people I know. Only for my kids or my friends or my family members, people that I'm close with. And I'm okay with that, because regardless of my geographic location or the size of my audience, I know that whatever path I'm on, it will always be the right one. Do you ever feel defeated? Like every plan you make fails? I think that's a really good question to close out with. Do I ever feel defeated, or like every plan that I make fails? All the time. All the time. And I always say that it's okay to feel defeated. Just don't get comfortable with it. Most of our plans are going to fail. Just remember that whatever you're doing it for the outcome. You're not doing it for the plan. The plan is just a vehicle to get you where you're going. Whatever you're doing, if it didn't work, if you failed, the goal of the outcome is still the same. It just means you need to find a new plan. Your dreams can still be your reality. You just have to find a different way to get there. Don't give up. You will win if you do not quit. If you know what you want and it's not what you already have, then go after it like your life depends on it. Because it does. You've got this. And I can say with truth and with power and with belief that you've got this, because just like me, you are alive, awake, and unbreakable. Never forget that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.